In April 2015, Chinese President Xi Jinping made a speech marking the 60th anniversary of the Bandung Conference. He referred to the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence established at the meeting. Based on these, he said, 10 further principles had been developed for handling interstate affairs, and these had played a key historic role in the development of international relations. He said that the spirit of the Bandung Conference retained its vitality in the present era and is very important in guiding China-Africa relations. China and Africa, despite constant changes in the international situation, have always stood shoulder to shoulder, working together and supporting each other. In the 1950s and 1960s, national liberation movements swept Africa. The Chinese people, who had recently gained their own liberation, offered the African people full support in their just struggle against Western hegemony and colonialism. China and Africa built up a deep, revolutionary friendship. In 1956, China and Egypt announced they were establishing diplomatic relations. This made Egypt the first country in Africa to establish formal ties with the newly founded People's Republic. At the end of 1963 and the beginning of 1964, Premier Zhou Enlai undertook a tour of Africa, visiting 10 African countries in 2 months. During his trip, he set out 5 principles on which bilateral relations between China and the African and Arab countries should be founded. He also referred to 8 principles based on which China would provide economic and technical aid to other countries. His visit to Africa is still fondly remembered there today. On October the 25th, 1971, at the 26th United Nations General Assembly, the motion to restore the legitimate rights of the People's Republic of China at the UN was passed with an overwhelming majority. The announcement was greeted with enthusiastic cheering by the delegates of many African countries. Chairman Mao Zedong said, "Our African brothers carried China to its legitimate seat in the United Nations." Subsequently, as a permanent member of the UN Security Council, China has always spoken out to uphold justice for the countries of Africa. It has also defended the common interests of the African and developing countries. Western attempts to smear China's human rights record have consistently been dismissed thanks to the support of African countries. Recently, these countries have issued a succession of statements supporting China's stand against the South China Sea arbitration. They have done so because they understand what harm the arbitration may cause and because they believe in fairness and justice. The African countries' support for China has not only been political. When China has been in need, their support has also been economic. In 2008, in the wake of the devastating Wenchuan earthquake, China received over $10 million in donations from Africa. The president of Equatorial Guinea even dispatched his foreign minister with €1 million to help the victims. This represented a donation of over €1 from every man, woman and child in Equatorial Guinea. In 2011, after the earthquake in Yushu in Qinghai province, the Republic of Congo gave €2 million to rebuild the China-Congo Friendship Primary School. And in 2015, Equatorial Guinea donated $4.9 million for building the China-Equatorial Guinea Friendship Primary School in Jinping County in Yunnan Province.